In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review of Alderete Tequila. It's this big, long bottle. Looks like this. Right here on the Tequila Hombre. Coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review. I'm going to do it slowly so you guys can see the bottle. We're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting and review of Alderete Tequila. Look at the bottle. It's just like massively huge, beautiful bottle. But it's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be really good tequila. And you know why? Because it comes out of NOM 1414, which is Blanco and Associates, which we know produces pretty fabulous tequila. All right, so you're probably wondering, well, Hombre, how did you get your hands on these bottles? Well, I was actually in Mexico, in Jalisco, and I went up to Arandas to visit with my friends at Blanco and Associates, Sergio Cruz and Sergio Vivanco, and I was there working on a Blanco project that actually should be arriving here in the United States in August. So you guys should keep your eyes out for that. It's a fantastic Blanco. You guys are going to love it. Special edition, high proof Viva Mexico version that I picked up from Sergio Cruz. Really good stuff, really different. It's going to be the only batch of it that's going to get made. So they're going to be doing a regular high proof, but it's not going to be like this batch. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. So I was there talking to him and doing the final tasting on that Blanco and getting things arranged for the purchase of it to bring it in the United States. And the gentleman that owns Alderete was actually at the distillery. And so I believe they were working on an extra añejo. And so I actually got to taste some extra añejos with him. Sergio Vivanco brought one over for me to try because he knows how much I like their tequila, and he values my opinion, and it was delicious. I even brought a mystery bottle home. Remember the mystery bottle? That was an extra añejo I tasted at this time. And the gentleman that owns this brand is in agriculture into harvesting and stuff, and so he was trying to get me to buy a marijuana farm because he wanted to harvest it for me. But I was not in the market for, and neither am really not in the market for marijuana farm. So I didn't end up really doing anything with them. But I did get these bottles, and they asked me to do a review for him, and which I'm more than excited to do. I love the tequilas that typically come out of 1440. There's a couple that I don't like, but you know they understand that I'm going to be honest, and so we're going to take a look at these. So let's get into how these tequilas are produced. All right, so just like every tequila at 1414, these are produced using a state-of-grown agave, which the Vivancos are agaveros. So it comes from one of their fields. They harvest the agave and then cook them using brick hornos. After they're done being cooked, they then pass them on to the roller mill where they extract the sugars out of the agave fibers. And then they're fermented in stainless steel tanks with Mozart music being played. Once the fermentation is complete, they're then transferred over to copper pot stills where they're twice distilled and then bottled at 40% alcohol by volume or barreled for the aged expressions. Now, I don't have aging times on these, but I can just give you the basic figures on them when we get to them. But right now, let's get into the tasting portion, taste the Blanco, and see what we get. All right, so let's go ahead and pop open the Blanco just so you guys can see this bottle again. These things are big. Now, they do sell these at Old Town Tequila, which I guess been there for a while. $49.99 for the Blanco, $64.99 for the Repo, and $69.99 for the Añejo. And if I like them, you know, I'll may reach out to them and see about getting them for ferment and still. But if you don't want to buy from ferment and still because you have an issue with me or whatever, you can order them from Old Town and do business with them if you wish. I don't care who you buy them from. Just as long as you like them. If I like them and tell you to drink them and you like them, that's all that matters to me. All right, so let's take a look at the Blanco. It's in the glass. So taking a look at it, it coats the glass beautifully. Look at the legs and tiers there. Look at that. sticking to the glass. Up here comes the tears now coming down, or the legs, or what, lacing, whatever you want to call it. Look at that. So it's gonna have a nice viscous mouth feel to it. Looking at the tequila itself, it's crystal clear. Absolutely beautiful. Dashes of silver light going through them. Looks great. All right, so let's see what we get on the nose on this. Beautiful, ripe, cooked agave, that beautiful cinnamon and baking spices notes that are coming through. Ooh, even like a little hint of tropical fruit, like banana coming through on it. A nice minerality from the water, little hint of citrus in there too, almost like a sweet orange note. Little hint of vanilla in there as well. Because, of course, there's natural vanillin in agaves, so that's normal. It doesn't mean there's additives or anything. They don't use additives out of 1414. It has really nice fruity kind of nose to it. It's actually really pleasant, really nice. I really like this one. It's I can spend some time with nosing this. It's got like a nice sweet citrus. And the cinnamon and baking spice notes in there as well. Almost like a plum note that comes through on it. Little hint of vanilla, even a little bit of chocolate. It smells really nice. Really nice. I like the nose on this. All right, so let's see what we get on the mouth, on the flavor profile. This is my first sip of tequila, so of course I have to acclimate my mouth to 40% alcohol. So bear with me for a second. And you should do this too. Anytime before you sip and you're going to evaluate a tequila, you should do this as well. And get your mouth and gums and stuff acclimated to the tequila before you start looking for notes. Okay, waiting for the sizzle to stop. You get a little bit of burning sensation in your lips and gums when it first gets the alcohol to it, when it's not used to it. But then once it subsides, okay, we're good. We're gonna go ahead and taste it now. So salute. Coats the mouth beautifully. Nice cinnamon, baking spice note up front, so that beautiful cooked agave note that we look for. Full and present. Getting some fermentation notes in there now. Little hint of definitely some citrus coming through, some sweet orange, some esters, like almost banana note esters from the fermentation coming through on it. Little hint of vanilla, so there's natural vanillin in agave, so that's normal. There's a note I'm trying to pick up on the end. Beautiful sweet cinnamon. Banana esters, definitely some banana notes coming through. A little hint of vanilla. A little bit of anise bitterness and a little bit of a sulfur note to it, which is kind of interesting and different. It has a little bit of a sulfur note to it. But it's good. I mean, it's enjoyable. I could definitely sit and drink it. The sulfur note at the end is kind of weird. It's kind of different and weird. I don't know where they would pick up a sulfur note, but it almost has like a sulfur-esque kind of note to it at the end. Interesting. But it's not bad. I enjoy it. I could drink it. I definitely could drink it, enjoy it. I can enjoy it in a cocktail. So I'd give it. The sulfur note's kind of throwing me for a little bit. So I would give it like 3.9 3.7 agave. Not quite 4. I don't know how some people would react to that sulfur note. It's almost like a sulfur chemical, almost like plastic kind of note at the end of it. There could be something up with this bottle. Sometimes it happens, but I don't know. I have to see if I can get another bottle to taste. This one was open when they gave it to me from the distillery, so there may be something up with the bottle a little bit on that one. But I'll maybe try to grab another bottle and do another tasting and follow up with you guys on it. So that's the Blanco. It's good. It's really good. Just that little bit of an off flavor note towards the end of the flavor profile that's kind of throwing me for a loop on this one. But let's take a look at the Blanco. That bottle's perfectly sealed. We'll look at the Blanco and see what we got going on with that. Or the Repo. We'll look at the Repo. That one's perfectly sealed. We'll go from there and see what that one's like. All right. So now we're going to take a look at the Repo. Now for a Repo, I don't see any details on the website for the aging of this. I do know they use Jack Daniel's barrels there at 1414, so it's been aged in Jack Daniel's barrels, but it could be anywhere from 2 months up to a year for it to be a Repo, so it's going to be any time in that time period. They may just go through and pick out the best barrels that they can and go from there. All right, so here, let's take a look at the Repo in the glass. So looking at it in the glass, it coats the glass beautifully. Look at the legs and tears coming down from it. So it's going to have a nice viscous mouthfeel to it. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Looking at the tequila, the color itself is kind of like a light amber color. Looks crystal clear, looks great. Now let's see what we get on the nose on it. Nice, beautiful cinnamon and baking spice cooked agave notes right up front. Nice, sweet citrus note in there as well. A little bit of apricot, cherryous kind of notes coming through as well. That happens from the wood aging. Little vanilla coming through, and even some caramel notes, and even a slight dark chocolate note coming through on it, which is all barrel stuff. And some honey-esque notes kind of coming through on it too. It smells really nice. There's nothing wrong with the way this smells. It's as close to a perfect nose you can get on a Repo as I think you have come. All right, so let's see what we get on the flavor profile. Salute. Beautiful. Cinnamon and baking spice note coming through on the front. Nice citrus notes in there as well. Some apricot, dried fruit. So almost like dried papaya and dried mango notes coming through. Nice vanilla note in there as well. And it's a little hint of caramel on it on the finish. This is a really nice Repo. Really easy to drink, no burn. If you're somebody that likes your smooth tequilas, this would be an amazing Repo for you. Really nicely balanced. Lots of agave up front, which is what we like. The barrels didn't wipe out the agave notes on it. Really nicely balanced. Beautiful, beautiful Reposado. So how would I rate this Reposado? I'd give this one a strong 4.5, 4.5 agave for this. It's almost a 5 level, but 5 level for me, has to have something kind of different and new to it. This doesn't have anything different or new, but it's about as perfect as you can get on a well-balanced Reposado as I've had in a long time. So the Alderete Reposado is really good. You can pick it up. It's $64.99 at Old Town Tequila if you're interested in grabbing some. I'll see if we can get some for Ferment and Still. And if so, we'd be glad to carry the Repo. I need to revisit the Blanco because of that weird off note that we talked about. But let's take a look at the Añejo and see what we get for that one coming up next. All right, so let's take a look at the Añejo now. Let's pour a little bit in the glass. All right. So let's take a look at it. Whoops, out a little bit. Let's take a look at it in the glass. Somebody's like, what are you doing down there? Well, I'm just pouring it into a glass and swirling it, getting some air into it so we can see what it looks like in the glass. I'm not hiding anything from you guys. Looking at it in the glass, it coats the glass beautifully. Look at the legs and tears on that. Look at that. Ooh. Beautiful. Look at that. See how look at that. Look how it's sticking to the glass. Those legs and stuff are coming down. It's kind of a nice viscous mouthfeel to it. Looking at the color itself, it is a deep amber color. Looks amazing. Beautiful. All right. On the nose. Ooh, you guys. Oh my gosh. Añejo fans, alert, 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 alert. Beautiful, beautiful cinnamon and baking spices notes up front. So it's still there. The agave is still there. It's not aged out. Followed by almost like a sweet cherry, some apricot, some dried fruit notes like mango and papaya coming through on it, which is kind of interesting. Definitely like a nice vanilla note in there, some caramel, and even some deep dark chocolate coming through on it. It is beautiful. This is a beautiful Añejo, at least the nose on it so far. Let's see what we get on the flavor profile. If the flavor profile was good as on nose on this is going to be something special. Salute. Coats the mouth beautifully. Really nice cinnamon and baking spices notes up front. Little hint of cherry, some apricot notes in there, some other dried fruits, almost like dried mango. Yeah, dried mango, little hint of honey in there. Did I say cherry already? Vanilla, nice cinnamon note in there, blending with the vanilla nicely, and then some dark chocolate notes to finish off the end of it. And then it kind of rides off with a sweet cinnamon and dark chocolate note on it. On the finish is a little long on this, which is kind of nice. Has a little bit of a heat to it, but not a whole lot, just enough to kind of carry the flavor profile for you for a little bit. And leave you wanting to take another sip, which is what I want to do. Wow, this is a really nice Añejo. I really enjoy it. This would go great with a really nice medium to full body stogie as well. Beautiful after dinner sipper. Not something I would sip before dinner or as a afternoon sipper, just because of how bold it is. There's still lots of agave present though, but this is a beautiful Añejo. I think you guys would enjoy this. So I would give this one 4.5 agaves, 4.5 agaves. It's a really nice Añejo. So there you go, you guys. Alderete Tequila. If these sound interesting to you, pick them up. You can find them at Old Town. On their website. I'll see if we can get it for ferment and still. I'll check in with them. But if you like the information I shared in this video, make sure you click the thumbs up and give me a like. If you're new to the channel, bienvenido, welcome. I love doing these honest, unbiased reviews for you. So if you want honest, unbiased reviews that doesn't accept payment from the brands, it cannot be coerced to give good reviews, that kind of stuff, and you want information when you have the power when it goes in, when you go into a liquor store or wherever you go to buy your tequila and have the knowledge to know what to look for, then this is the perfect channel for you. And we'd love to have you part of our community. So make sure you click the subscribe button right there and the notification bell next to it. And until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So hey, if you want to pick up Alderete, I think you'd be in good shape. Salute. Bye guys.